Future of wrestling. Future of wrestling podcast. Future of wrestling podcast. Yeah, we take WWE 2K, make it a wrestler show. The commentary added, man, it's best you know. Nobody could take it better than us. Nobody could ever do it, it's tough. If you wanna listen to the best, nothing else we got, yes. Recognize the time that we on, this is the time we respond. If you listen to the Future of the Wrestling podcast, understand that we on.
This ain't my channel, this is the man's home. The man resides here, the man behind, I was gonna say the mask, but it doesn't feel right. It's late, I'm tired, but I'm glad as shit to be back here on this channel. Then again, it's not mine, it's yours. It's Logan Myers. What's up, man? Thanks for having me back. It's so weird to be hosting on your channel again. We've been saying we're going to do this episode since like July. Shit happened.
But
now, that's all that matters. SummerSlam season's gone. Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It's always rewind time for one. Two, this show was in Madison Square Garden. Technically, today is 9/11, so we're remembering all the fallen heroes and stuff like that with and all that. Like, we lost a lot of people on 9/11, and I was like, how old was I? Like 4.
Jesus, Logan, I was 17 years old.
I know.
Make me feel any fucking older.
Sorry, but now you
not
can't feel old.
Not trying to make light of the tragedy, and of course, those that lost their lives are in our thoughts. It was a terrible tragedy, but we're going to turn frowns upside down, Logan. Because like WWE today doing SmackDown from MSG, we're going to MSG in the year 1980. But before we do, where can everyone catch me, I guess, first, since I'm the guest? And that's,
Go ahead.
Hibiki TMD on YouTube, Retro Gaming, Heavy Metal, Video Game Podcast, or Wrestling Podcast, excuse me. I'm so out of it tonight. I'm so sorry. Everything in between. And on Instagram, HibikTMD. Yeah, check out all podcasts, Let's Plays, and all the shenanigans.
And of course, you guys can check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. And soon, yes, Travis, I'm going to Twitch to start streaming my video games. So, at FutureTV44. Yeah, YouTube's just gotten so, yeah. They're probably going to ban me after saying that, but doing live on YouTube sucks. There's no benefits.
It's easier to get banned on Twitch than YouTube, though. It's easier to get copyright hit struck on YouTube. Yeah. I don't know. Let's pick your poison.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook, with the whole announcement of you can play any song on Facebook when you're live, is a benefit. That is cool. I don't know if you heard about that, but yeah, that's a thing now. So, any streamer can play whatever song they want because it won't be copyrighted.
Alright.
So, I could play Nickelback all I want for you, Travis.
Oh, God, please copyright strike it.
Huh. I know TJ would like that one. Because I see him posting on Twitter all the time. But, yeah.
He's an asshole.
But no, we're hitting the rewind button. I know it's called Future TV, but who cares? We're always hitting that rewind button sometimes, Travis, because some of that rewind button that we're hitting, some of that stuff from that year, those years are the best. And that's why we're here.
Yeah. Just call me a walking VCR. Like, I'm all about I'm the go-to retro guy with this stuff.
Oh, the whole VHS. I miss it. I miss going to video games.
Do you miss those big fucking stickers that say please rewind?
I just miss going to the video game store, going to the wrestling section, and just looking at it and be like, can I please rent this? Because that's all I did.
I remember going to the local one here, Wonder Book and Video, when I was a kid. Like, there was this one employee, and I was like 9 or 10, but she was like this cute girl or whatever, but she was like the wrestling lady. Like, it was like finding buried treasure in this huge video store when you're a kid. Like, oh my God, look at all these Coliseum. Because I never had growing up. My parents never bought one of like the official tapes. All our wrestling VHS were just taped off a TV. Every
Yeah.
one of them.
Yep, that's what
So
my
to
dad
like see
did
like
too.
official ones, I was like, oh my god, you know. Whoa.
Exactly. It felt like you were in something special. Like you were special enough to see that.
We were the last. We were something special. We were the last round of the video store generation and physical media like that before Netflix and all that shit. Peacocks.
Yeah. And I
You know what? You know what? A VHS, unless the VHS was about to wear out, it never fucked up for me watching it.
No.
Peacock.
No. And don't you miss going to the video game stores and renting like video games and stuff like that? Like Rush Hour is my favorite. Absolutely, my favorite.
I actually prefer it now with renting video games because now with renting games digitally, you can just usually buy them to own, or like you have your fucking PS Now, which is all thousands of games instantly. You don't got to worry about like, oh god, I hope my parents hurry up before somebody rents the last copy of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and then what am I going to do with my weekend? You don't got to worry about that shit anymore.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And now
Let's get down to why we're here, though. Not Tony
Yeah.
Hawk. Not fucking
No.
video game stores. We're
No.
here for superstar Billy Graham, Logan.
oh my gosh, I was highly annoyed from the get-go when the man kept saying "man" and "brother" after every damn sentence. He's.
Do you remember what the fuck he was wearing, by the way?
Oh. I think I toned that out. I think I toned that one out because of all the times he
Look
said
at a
"man."
picture right now. It's like a bright pink tie-dye shirt with like a bad drawing of Jimi Hendrix on it.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, this was I don't know why I know that Superstar was like winding down in ring and it was it. He was done, but was this like a test run like to see how he would? He's no Mr. Perfect. He was hell, I would take Roddy Piper over this.
No.
Roddy Piper, I love Roddy Piper, but Roddy Piper on commentary was fucking annoying for some reason. It just didn't work for me. But I would take Roddy Piper over this any day.
Yeah, because at least Roddy Piper would not say the same thing the whole entire time. It was like he was still playing his gimmick. I mean, if you're on commentary, yeah, you should do a little bit of something. But you don't have to go to that extent to play your character when you're not. You're not in a wrestling match. You're not cutting a promo when you're doing commentary.
Exactly. Unless you're doing like guest commentary, but you're still an active wrestler. But when you make the transition to now you're a full-time announcer, that's your new gimmick. I agree. People don't say that enough, and I'm so glad you said that. Announcers don't do that sometimes. You can't portray like it's the same fucking problem we see right now. Great example with Chris Jericho.
I was
He's
just
a
thinking
commentator. It's so unbearable. I can't. It's because it's just nonstop yelling and screaming. It's just so bad, and it takes away. It's distracting from the match.
And he's not. When he's on commentary, he isn't like cutting a promo like he's a wrestler on commentary. It's like he's doing Fozzy.
He's like this dad. He's like this assistant coach on the Little League team talking about all the boys on the team or something. It's weird. Yeah.
He's like that coach that is like, I saw a video of a coach on the football field yelling and screaming in a kid's face. That's what it sounds like.
You know what? This is a case of this pay-per-view, by the way, Madison Square Garden. Superstar Billy Graham and the legendary Gorilla Monsoon. Gorilla Monsoon was fine, I feel like, on this.
Oh yes, he was. Of course, Gorilla Monsoon is and always will be one of the greatest commentators ever.
This was essentially, I mean, this was the first SummerSlam, but literally, this was like, honest to God, a house show card. I feel like.
To me,
The main event was a tag match that meant nothing. The only relevant thing that really had any impact on any storylines was the Intercontinental title match. Everything else was just kind of there. You could have put on any house show.
yeah, I see what you're saying there. Because I mean, we had 3 tag team matches.
The tag title match, Powers of Pain, and the Bolsheviks, and the opener, which is
Yeah.
the best match on the entire fucking show, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to tell you my opinion. Well, let's get started.
Let's do it.
Let's get started.
This show kicked off. Boy, if you watch a lot of shoot interviews, Logan, and you know now what we didn't know then, it makes this match a hell of a lot more interesting. I don't know if you even know what I'm referencing. The British Bulldogs versus the Fabulous Rougeau brothers and the legendary heat backstage with Dynamite Kid and Jacques Rougeau, where it came to a point where Jacques Rougeau got tired of the bullying, sucker punched Dynamite Kid with a sock full of quarters, knocked his front teeth out. I mean, these two legit wanted to kill each other, and this was literally that happened a month after this match, which is the craziest part.
This was a show stealer for me, by the way. And it's in my notes right here. I was one thing that really hurt my rating for this match is I wish there was a winner, because the match was so good to me that a draw in the first match, I think, kind of hurt the fans, because I think they wanted to see a winner. And when it comes to a pay-per-view, especially like one of the first ones, you never want to see an opening match with a draw. And
Ever.
it just...
And this is definitely WWF. They could get away with that shit in this time. And I agree, this match went 20 minutes, time limit draw, no winner. I will say one thing. I feel like something that definitely stands out, not just on this show, but this time, is the crowd and the fucking energy. And I don't want to be like lame or cliche, but it's very reminiscent of what has been missing in modern wrestling. It's just coming back with all, like, this summer with AEW. It feels like it's coming to a boiling point. I'm feeling that energy from AEW crowds now. Or AEW crowds show just as much energy for the first match as they do for the main event. You know, like, and that's definitely what we got here. The crowd was behind everything in this match.
Yeah, they was, and you were right. It sounded like what AEW sounds like right now for an opener.
I mean, you compare a Raw crowd right now. I'm probably talking about modern wrestling to an AEW crowd. It's like corpses.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, when it comes to like Raw, for example, like you said, it's like you're talking to a dead crowd that pretty much have a bed and a pillow, sleeping there.
I can't, for the life of me, fathom why people pay money to go to Monday Night Raw anymore. Why would you do that to yourself?
I wouldn't. And like I told you on Messenger just the other day, I want to go to AEW. And I absolutely, if I could go back in time, I would go and see this pay-per-view just for the opener.
You know, something that could also be a real eye-opener, kind of like the generation of adults now who grew up in the Attitude Era. Think of what, like, children in this era who like wrestling are seeing right now. If I'm a kid, when I was a kid and I was a wrestling fan, I always thought the edgy, more adult stuff obviously was cooler. And I wanted to be where the energy was. And if I was a kid right now, I would just compare the two products, and I'd be all about AEW. Like, I kind of look at modern WWE like I used to look at WCW and the Attitude. Like, man, this shit's fucking lame. It's boring. It's cookie cutter. It's rematches. Just WCW started to die. That's exactly what it felt like modern WWE. I feel like WWE isn't. If WWE doesn't take AEW seriously right now, you know, the next generation, like, these children are going to grow up thinking that, you know, AEW is a superior product.
I don't think I could say it any better than what you just said. And the greatest thing, and the cool thing about nowadays with tag team wrestling, it feels like tag team wrestling is coming back. It really, really does with AEW. You're starting to see the FTRs, you're starting to see the Bucks. But go ahead, Travis. I know you were going to say something.
Oh, no. You're good. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm just saying, like, tag team-wise, just going back and watching and hitting that rewind button to see some of these tag team matches that I don't necessarily remember or remember watching, you know, up till now. These are some of the greatest tag team matches that I look for now with AEW.
This was definitely the golden age of tag team wrestling, for sure. And I'm thankful that we've had NXT over the past couple of years, because the NXT tag division, like the
Oh
last,
my
but not
goodness, it was
recently,
great.
because it's really, yeah. When you had your American Alpha, the DIY,
Even the
Revival, but
Ascension.
it's going downhill. Even the Ascension, yeah. So I hope tag team wrestling gets back to what it was in this era. And it's a shame this ended in a draw. It is what it is. Up next, a match not not with as much sizzle behind it. Is an understatement. Bad News Brown and Ken Patera, Logan.
By the way, I actually rated every single match.
What do you rate the tag match?
And you won't believe what I gave Bad News Brown. But I will say the tag team match.
I can believe it.
The tag team match, I gave a B+, because I was really excited about that one, except the draw hurt the rating. But that second match, I'm not going to lie, it was my piss break. It was a D-. First of all, Ghetto Blaster sounds like a water blaster gun for kids.
Well, Ghetto Blaster is technically, it's like an old school term for a big boom box. That's a Ghetto Blaster. So I see what they did there.
I see.
Very
Okay.
hip hop. Bad News Brown.
Okay.
Racist Vince.
Well, see, I didn't know that, but now I feel like I'm stupid.
The thing about the thing about Ken Patera, and like we just said at the top of the show, you're young, obviously. You probably know no real backstory on Ken Patera, so he was a weird guy with an afro and Olympic shit, right? Boring as fuck.
Yes, he felt generic.
See, yes. Now, what they should have done, because they didn't have Monday Night Raw back then, they just had their syndicated superstars in 4 pay-per-views a year. They should have at least on commentary somewhat, tell you about Ken Patera's backstory, about how he used to be in Bobby Heenan's family, and then he went to jail in their life, and Heenan turned his back on him. He came back as his babyface. And none of that. And the thing is, like, a couple months before this, they wasted so much TV time with the awful Ken Patera story that's so shitty, they didn't even bother to bring it up. That's how bad it was months later. Just a fucking job guy by this point. In and out, 6 minutes. And by the way, if you wrestle in this era and the crowd is dead, you suck, pal. Because we had that red hot crowd. You would have thought this was in a different building. This match with the fans. They couldn't have given a shit.
Exactly, and especially after you had a fantastic 20-minute match, even though it was a draw, the crowd was still red hot at that point. But as soon as this match even started, it was like the crowd was completely dead.
Oh, popcorn time.
Exactly.
I really watched one match, but I'm ready for a break. What about you guys?
It was like okay, to be honest with you, Ken Patera, he reminded me of a guy that I'm getting on WWE 2K to make a custom dude on FOW, and I don't edit anything when I start I don't, when I make the dude, I just...
No knee pads. Fuck you, pal.
I just don't do anything. I just bald head, generic face, everything. That's how it was to me.
You gotta at least put, like, the red, huge afro that Ken Patera had.
That afro was weird.
I rate this half a star. I'll do stars.
Half a star.
Half of a star. Just for the name Ghetto Blaster.
Half a star. Okay. I like that. I think I can do stars too with my ratings. But Bad News Brown won, by the way, if anybody has never seen this.
For the 2 people in the world that would care. Which that would probably be us. So nobody.
Maybe Jim.
Now we're dipping in the talent pool a little bit better. Because you got with Bobby Heenan going up against the Junkyard Dog. The Junkyard Dog by this time was way past his prime. It was really pretty bad in the ring. But the fans still loved him. I mean, he was JYD. He still got the reaction. This is about a year, actually not even a year. At WrestleMania 5, Rick Rude would beat the Warrior for the IC belt. So they're getting Rick Rude ready here. But another match with shenanigans or a false finish because the legendary, most memorable part of this match, and I fucking love Rick Rude, man. What a
Oh,
heel
yeah.
to pull your tights down and to have another man's wife on the cock of your tights. Jake Roberts' wife, Cheryl Roberts. Jake the Snake couldn't take it anymore, ran out, beat the shit out of Rick Rude. There's the DQ by your winner, technically Rick Rude. Who cares about the match? This is all about the storyline with Jake Roberts, and I thought this was executed beautifully. I will give it a pass for a disqualification this time.
I was just about to say the same thing. I would, just the way the intensity in Jake the Snake Roberts, the facial reactions that he had when he came out to beat his ass.
Yes.
I wasn't mad about that. I mean, I was more mad about a draw when a match was really good. But this match to me was just decent. You can tell how over both. Yeah, you could tell how both guys were over at that rate. Especially how badass Rick Rude was as a heel. Let's just point that out. Rick Rude was one of the greatest heels in that era.
Once again, in this match, Rick Rude and Master are taking the atomic drop.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I love that Twitter account. Rick Rude takes atomic drop. He always sells it the same way, like he shit his pants. It's awesome.
How did I not notice that? Like,
I'll send you a link to the Twitter account of just Rick Rude taking atomic drops
my
from everyone.
goodness.
It's so amazing. I mean, I don't know what to grade this match, honestly. Meltzer likes to give duds for matches like, but I don't want to do a dud. I guess for storyline progression, I'll give this like 2.5 stars just for that. I thought there's a lot of heat there. It's my wife, motherfucker. Like, fuck you.
I gave it a C- because I felt like it was rushed, and I also felt like Junkyard Dog should have had like some kind of small comeback. That's pretty much all I could say.
He literally did nothing in this match, right? Except for like 2 headbutts.
Pretty much, and bark like a dog. That's it.
He was literally out in like 2 months after this. He was out. He went to NW. Here's a weird one. These guys were fresh, just signed for the NWA at the time. Brand new tag team, the Powers of Pain. Yes, before they signed them, like 2 years later, was supposed to be their Legion of Doom, right? They couldn't get the real LOD who are in NWA, so we're gonna make our own. Gotta be honest. Let me be perfectly honest here, and might get a little controversy. I feel like if the LOD never existed, and the Powers of Pain would have been a big deal too. Just on the mic, they were shitty. So they would have had to have a way better mouthpiece than the Baron, their manager in this match, Baron Bonarowski.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they had the look. I thought they looked cool. Their name was badass. But it was just too many teams like this at the time. And I feel like, and that keeps, like, Demolition, everyone said were rip-offs of LOD. But in reality, Demolition was kind of their own thing. And I love Demolition. I actually like Demolition more than the Road Warriors. I'm one of those fans.
See, and I have a couple other friends that say the same thing, that was their tag team. So
yeah, grew up on WWF, so that was my LOD, was Demolition. And this just, Powers of Pain didn't stand a chance with 2 teams like that. They were always going to be like Kmart generic versions of that, you know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean,
I can't believe this match went 5 minutes and 27 seconds. I swore this was like another squash match, but I guess we're not there yet with squash matches.
I mean, my notes pretty much, the only thing that I would have to say is whatever happened to actually being able to build tag teams and maintain a great division. I miss, even though it was only 5 minutes, I felt like this tag team match was 20 times better than what WWE does. And that's sad because they don't give the tag teams enough time anymore.
That's true, and even when they have time for them, they don't know what to do with them. I mean, I feel like Vince McMahon would rather push a team of 2 thrown together guys instead. I mean, look at Rated RK Bro right now. Just 2 guys thrown together, technically, over a team that's been together forever. Vince McMahon would rather break up a team than to create a team. An actual team.
And I don't get it, especially brothers, by the way. Let's just point that out.
Vince McMahon
He's really good with
is
that.
like a little rich kid. Vince McMahon is literally like a little rich kid with no attention span.
Yeah,
But Vince
exactly.
McMahon gets so bored for a 75-year-old man.
He really doesn't. And I don't know if you know this, but the Usos faced the Street Profits tonight for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Do you know how long that match went?
10 minutes?
7 to 8 minutes. And it was the main event match.
Guessing the Usos.
Yeah. But, I mean, somebody's going to probably say, oh, Logan, you were wrong. You got to count the entrances. I don't count the entrances. I will calculate.
Who the fuck does count the entrances?
Some people do. And
if that's the case, then Goldberg is going like 60-minute Broadway his whole fucking career for counting the entrances.
If I'm going to count entrances, I might as well just give up on FOW because I'm always going to be complaining to myself that this match was too long. Because you know how 2K is with the entrances. It takes like Undertaker for everybody's entrance.
There is a match on this card tonight that we're talking about that I feel like went way too long.
Oh.
But we'll get there. You might know what I'm talking about. It just didn't have anything behind it, I feel like. We'll save it.
I can't wait.
I didn't have a problem with this match because, like I said, they just signed these guys from Crockett, the NWA. So, of course, I mean, fucking look at them. They didn't have the LOD yet. They wanted opponents for Demolition. This is exactly what you should do with a team like this. Even though, technically, the Bolsheviks were nothing. They were the team that always got beat. And this was what it was. As a match, I mean, 3/4 of a star. Just for the cool outfits.
And I forgot to mention something on my notes, and and it's a good question for you. Am I the only one that also thought Slick is really cool? I'll be honest, though. I didn't think he gelled well with the tag team he was managing.
Yeah, I never understood this pairing either.
And this is my first time watching 88, by the way.
I feel like the Bolsheviks should have had like Jimmy Hart or somebody like that. Not quite a Bobby, but at least a Jimmy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, somebody that at least.
I mean, yeah. No disrespect to Slick, but that's kind of bottom of the barrel, right? That's like That's like the guy in NXT right now. Stokely Hathaway. Like, you're desperate. Oh my goodness. You can have Paul Heyman or you can have fucking Stokely Hathaway. Who are you gonna choose?
Paul Heyman. Mae Young Stokely. At that rate.
Michael would choose Stokely.
That's funny though. I gave it a C+ for this match. I guess that's
the same reasons. Just trying to get these new guys over.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's fair. I mean, they needed someone different to help sell this tag team a character work, in my opinion. That's for manager wise. And like you said, you just brought somebody in. They're pretty much debuting at the pay-per-view. It's like you can't give them a bad rating when they haven't worked with that tag team probably in forever, or that's their first time.
Yeah.
But what was next though? And I know it's not match wise.
What was next?
Yeah, Brother Love, I love you.
This set on for a year. This went on for fucking ever. My rating was literally my notes. F. I have no clue why they booked this segment. That was what my thing said. You kill fucking time. Did you at least make it entertaining? Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
My Frenchie Martin there, but man. Can we just move on from that segment?
Yes,
it was Jim Duggan. It was Jim Duggan and a Jim Duggan segment, which is fucking useless.
It was I love you, Jim Duggan, and ho. That was it. Thank you. Good night. Pretty much.
Fuck you, bye.
I was going to say that, but I was trying to be PG for some damn reason when it's my channel. I mean, why am I...
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh, jeez. But up next, thank God for this match, because at least it was better.
Is one of the most memorable moments of my wrestling childhood.
And this was my first time watching this match, and I see, this is what I love doing this shows with you, is because you lived it. I've never really gotten to watch it, so bouncing off both of our opinions is it's really cool. It's cool to see how we agree or disagree. But this match, whew.
It's crazy how much I love this as a kid, and now as a 37-year-old man, how much I hate the Ultimate Warrior as a person. You know, and he's just such a shithead. And, you know, I hate to speak ill of the dead, but he was a racist, bigoty piece of shit. And, man, it's just a case of having people fooled. Like, everyone thought, oh, yeah, this great baby face this whole time is this horrible person underneath the paint. You know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. But to be fair,
this is a man who once said in the shoot interview that Bobby the Brain Heenan deserved to get throat cancer.
Get the fuck out of here.
Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, see, just to be positive for this, you know, the character.
All right, I'll separate the art from the artist here for the sake of your show. I'm sorry to go into business.
No,
myself,
I mean, no. You have the right to, because, I mean, Bobby the Brain Heenan did not deserve any of that. And like you said, he's a piece of shit. But I will say, in the words of Gorilla Monsoon, what a pop. I mean, you have to agree with Gorilla Monsoon when he was on commentary. Right. Ultimate Warrior did get a big ass pop, and this is kind of why I miss some of these shockers and pops. Like,
his opponent, guys, is the Honky Tonk Man, the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. Supposed to be Brutus Beefcake, but in the storyline, Brutus got really messed up from Outlaw Ron Bass. He took like his boot spur and cut his face open with a big censored X on the screen, which is so old school. I'm not sure why. I'm sure there's a story, but I don't know why they pulled Brutus and switched it at the last minute. I'm pretty sure Brutus was supposed to win the title here. I think it all worked out.
I mean, it did. It did. I guess so.
I mean, without this match happening, we would have never got Warrior and Hogan, I feel like, at WrestleMania.
That's true, because back then the Intercontinental Champions and the Mid-Card Championships elevated people to the main championship. You know what I mean? Nowadays, who gives a fuck who has the Intercontinental Champion? They're not getting pushed.
Now, they're kind of starting it with Damian Priest a little bit, but I'm not going to give him any credit, because I'm sure this will last for 3 weeks, and then it won't matter.
And I'm a big fan of him, by the way. Big fan.
Oh, he's money.
He is money. I mean, I like...
That was a hell of a triple threat the other week. Like, Drew, him, and Sheamus. That was a really good match.
And it goes to show you that Sheamus still has it, even with the physical ailments that he's been dealing with over the years with his back.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
one of the most underrated guys in the entire WWE right now.
Exactly.
As far as quality of match. Him and Ricochet, holy shit.
Oh, man.
I guess, you know what, that just speaks to those guys. Like, WWE, I mean, even the talent pretty much is a shit fest right now, but for the guys to go out there and put them on a match like that, on a show like Raw, it's a testament to those guys being professionals and still caring and having pride in their work. Because there's no reason that Monday Night Raw deserves matches like that.
No. And like you told me on a text message saying that AEW beat Raw in ratings, you know, it's just, I mean, viewership.
When they factored it, AEW got a 1.32, and then when they factored it was like at a 1.5. So technically they beat Raw, and I think it's the first time Raw has lost to another wrestling company since like '98. That's fucking big.
That is huge. That is a big deal for AEW.
Derek Bish. Don's the new Bish.
And that's crazy.
Yeah, this was fucking perfect. I mean, everything about this segment was booked to perfection. I don't really think, unless you just hate like squash matches. I mean, look at the Ultimate Warrior next to the Honky Tonk Man. Of course it should have been a squash. Of course the cocky heel. He'd already been a champ for over a year anyway, so no one could say he was buried here. I mean, he beat everybody.
No.
And they literally made a new guy in one match. He was made. The Warrior was made, and it was off to the races for the Warrior after this.
I mean, I think some people would probably be a little upset if they had to rewatch this back. And I'm just going to say, let it be known that this entrance for Ultimate Warrior was about the same amount of time as this match. Literally. But I mean, and like you said, it elevated Ultimate Warrior. Honky Tonk Man did not get buried in this match because of the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion at that time. And Honky Tonk Man was just one of those guys that every fan wanted somebody to beat him for that title. And I don't think...
That's why, and you say that I lived it earlier. That's why I can literally tell, like, I would be able to tell you that Ted DiBiase and the Honky Tonk Man are two of the greatest heels of all time because I hated them as a kid. It worked. I fucking hated them. I was a little guy.
And I guess we kind of miss having those feelings now for the product now, because it's hard to say, you know, it's hard to separate the talent of a heel to the persona. You know what I mean? Like for Kenny Omega.
I mean, that's why MJF's the best, because he never turns it off. Whereas Omega, he'll turn it off.
Oh, Omega would turn it off real quick. But like you said, MJF, he is probably the only person, and I don't know how long since probably The Miz was heel. Like you remember when he was feuding with Cena? Nobody liked him. Nobody liked The Miz. That cocky, arrogant MTV wannabe rapper, wannabe, you know, talent. And he was just a dick to me. As a kid when I was little, you know, younger. And that's what MJF reminds me of. And he almost reminds me of a little bit of not just Ric Flair, but kind of like the Honky Tonk Man and how much heat he got.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
new IC champ, and the people threw the babies in the air, as Jim Cornette likes to say. People celebrated big time.
And I gave this a C+. I wasn't actually mad that it was a squash.
Up next, I'm going to give this next match 3 Z's for Snooze Fest. Dino Bravo beat Don Morocco.
Holy shit! I didn't even give this match a rating. I guess that's how bored I was.
There you go. ZZZ. Total waste of time. 5 minutes 28 seconds. Dino Bravo gets the win clean with a side slam. Match I was talking about earlier, where it just it felt so dead. The crowd. It just was the tag title match. Demolition versus the Hart Foundation, and I feel like it should have been the opposite. I feel like this match should have been treated like the Bulldogs and the Rouges. I would have maybe opened the show with this match, possibly.
Man, but we also opened up with that great 20-minute tag team match. But I do have one question for you, Travis.
Yes.
Do you get a lot of fan mail?
Why?
You would get more, but you ran out of stamps. By the way, you know who said that. And it was during the
Bobby Heenan line.
Yep. I had to throw it to you.
Bobby Heenan snuck his way in. I love when Bobby Heenan would do that on pay-per-views back. Like, he'd sneak in for commentary on one match.
Oh, my gosh. It was a breath of fresh air, not going to lie.
Yes. And on this show, it's like, Bobby, no, don't leave. Please stay. Please.
And it's funny that he was in that, oh my god, shit show of a match. At least he made that match special on commentary. Let's just say. But yeah, I would have been happy if he would have stayed for this tag team title match. Because, yeah.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what was missing in this match. I don't know if it was the pacing. I don't know if this was a brand new babyface team, where like the Hart Foundation, they had just turned babyface. So maybe for the fans it was still too new because they had been such vicious heels for so long before this. I don't know, but this was boring. Very rarely is there a Bret Hart match where I just tune out, and this is one of the worst Bret Hart matches I've ever seen, to be honest.
Wow. I can't believe this is probably going to be the first time we actually agree and disagree on some things. My
Go for it.
my note said my first opinion was that I was really upset not seeing the entrance for the Hart Foundation. By the way, I was heated when I didn't see the. I don't know why did they not have an entrance?
Maybe they're just rushed for time because that Brother Love segment went 3 months.
I mean, and it kind of made me like, well, Demolition's gonna win this. I mean, Hart Foundation didn't even get an entrance. Why would they win the match? You know what I mean? It just, yeah. I actually thought this was almost a sleeper match for match of the night, and I actually gave it a B. I don't know why.
You must have been really bored when this match came on. You must have been so bored. And then this match just was that amazing.
But I don't know why I said this, but I said, not that I was falling asleep halfway throughout. So
there you go. See? Huh?
And I'm not kidding. I wrote these notes back in July.
That's good.
So, yeah.
I think the problem is, too, with this match for me, 2 years later, these two teams would meet at SummerSlam 90. 2 out of 3 falls match, and that's a fantastic match. Hart Foundation would win the titles at that one. And I think comparing it to that, it's night and day.
Now we're going to have to review that one next, because now I want to go see it.
Actually, I've already cheap plugged the channel. I've done SummerSlam 90.
Okay,
They can
okay.
catch it over there.
We don't have to do that then.
Up next, another match that I could take a shit on and go to sleep to any day.
Oh,
My God.
Oh, my rate.
What does this pay-per-view need? How about Coco fucking Beware? Huh? You should put Coco Beware in future pro wrestling.
And I'm gonna shoot this straight. I'm not gonna bullshit anybody. For me, I met Coco Beware about 2 years ago at an indie show, Travis. I don't know if you knew this. One of the most down-to-earth freaking dudes you'll meet. No freaking lie.
He seems like the nicest guy ever.
Like, he stayed after the show just to talk shit with me. Me and Margie was actually, and he, even though technically, it was more like he was flirting with some of the women there. But hey, I mean, it's Coco fucking Beware. But this wasn't,
baby.
This wasn't a
hop
horrible.
on that beak?
Oh Jesus Christ! Love it. I love that one. Okay, that was great. Okay, so this wasn't a horrible matchup between the two men. I was just shocked. I don't know why I was shocked that Coco Beware didn't win. I don't know why I said that.
Oh, they were strapping the rocket to Boss Man after this. Because remember, after this, like him and Akeem would feud with the Mega Powers and shit.
I guess. Oh, but I did say it seemed like it would be a logical choice after the Hart Foundation lost, and the fans really wanted the Hart Foundation to win. You could tell.
Yeah.
And it was just like we had so many, like, bad guys win, I guess. You know what I mean? So many heels win at this rate.
At least this only went like 6 minutes.
Yeah, because I didn't say much.
I will say...
But I gave it an F.
I think it was the Boss Man Slam, the finish. It was a nice Boss Man Slam. It's one of the best ones I've ever seen him do, actually. Coco took that shit like a champ. But yeah, I'm gonna be a little more fair. I'm going to give it like a D. Just because I think some of the spots were executed well because Coco's underrated. But it's just another squash match. So
And another guy in Big Boss Man that I did not understand why Slick was the manager.
Right? Exactly. Isn't it weird seeing Boss Man that fat, by the way?
I wasn't going to bring it up. I thought about it in my head, but I wasn't going to say it, but yeah. Wow,
I mean, I can turn it to a positive because I was going to say shout out to him for doing the work and losing the weight. So.
Oh, he did. He did lose the weight.
He sweat like a whole person in this match. Like this was the era where Boss Man would always sweat through his shirt completely.
I honestly thought it was Brock Lesnar sweat.
It's fine.
Yeah. But I don't know. This match missed something a little bit. I guess it was just because Coco Beware was Wasn't he starting to wind down a little bit too?
Yeah, I mean, he was always treated like a job guy in WWF from day one. It's not like he ever had any kind of.
But
He would never came close to a title.
I always felt like every time I watched him as a little kid, like I always was intrigued with that character. I guess it was because of the bird.
I think that's what it was catered towards, was us. I think that's why we gravitated toward. Like, and that's like now we bitch about shit on Raw, but I mean, to a real little kid they probably think Nikki Ash is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they probably think it's. Oh.
They probably think Nia Jax is really cool and fast because she's bigger than everybody else. She's so good.
Well, Nikki Ash to me.
That fucking kid needs grounded for a week. If they
Yeah, please, for the love of God, ground that kid for not even a week. Ground your child until it learns what Nia Jax really is. Please.
What a big bag of shit.
Yes. And it has to say that specific words, or else he's just gonna.
I'm not like most shit. I stink a little, but you.
But like I said, Nikki Ash, they may have thought she was kind of like Captain. Oh, what the hell? I'm trying to say her name.
Captain Insano.
No, all from Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel.
Yes, Captain Marvel. Jesus,
Captain Insano was probably badass to a kid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I give props to Nikki Ash. It was her idea for this gimmick. The name was her idea. She's the one that pitched it with a freaking PowerPoint presentation to Vince, and she won. It was her idea, because she even used Captain Marvel and some of the other female leads and showed the ratings and the views and stuff for the movies. I give her props for at least trying, Travis. Because, I mean...
She tried, but then again, she settled, and she fucking...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's easy for me to say that, I guess, because I'm not the one there trying to keep my job. Because they were going to fire her.
Exactly.
And nothing for her.
And I'm glad that she at least got something. And she got a title run. You know, she's probably got a little bit of a fan base with the kids, and hell, that's what WWE is mainly about. I give her props for trying. She went from a badass to a superhero. But to be honest with you, and I might get heat for this, but it's nothing different from what Molly Holly did. Am I wrong?
Molly, you mean Mighty
yes,
Molly?
Mighty Molly.
So that's two different gimmicks.
Yes, but
Molly Holly is a former women's champion. Mighty Molly was a fucking comedy character. I think that's what it was. They put the women's title on her, but they still could have they rushed it. That was. They didn't give the character any time to connect with any fan. It was on TV for like 3 weeks, and she cashed in. That was it. It had barely been a month. Now, if she had been doing the underdog Nikki Ash, I'm a fucking dork gimmick for like 8 months, and then she won the Money in the Bank, then I could have seen people getting behind it.
But it was too soon.
Plus,
it was too soon.
Nobody was ready for Rhea Ripley's run to end because everybody was excited for Rhea Ripley to be here. And everybody was so worried they're going to fuck her up. And I hate to say it right now, Rhea Ripley has no identity. None.
None whatsoever.
I'm not shocked. And Rhea Ripley is one of the easiest people in the entire roster to book. Book her dominant. I'm the new heel in town, Charlotte. Then you get Charlotte the fuck off of Raw. Maybe move Charlotte. You don't need both of them on the same roster anymore.
And it's kind of funny because I remember watching SmackDown or something, and they were promoting Toni Storm to debut, and we haven't seen her.
Oh, I've seen her. You know what she's doing on TV?
Please
backstage, let's do dating segments with Dolph Ziggler backstage. That's what they're doing with Toni Storm right now. Yep. That was last week. I don't know what they did tonight. I didn't watch it tonight.
I'm about to end this.
I'm better.
We
still have the Mighty Hercules.
I'm about to end
the Mighty Hercules would be very upset.
I'm about to end the stream after you told me that about Toni Storm.
I didn't book it. If I was booking it, Dolph Ziggler would be in fucking Impact.
And I watched SmackDown. I'll be honest. I watched SmackDown. I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. None of Toni Storm at all. So They went from
You know what,
one
it might
week.
have been on one of their. It might have been on their YouTube exclusive thing that they do.
It could have. It could have. But let's get down to it. Jake the Snake Roberts, Hercules. Okay.
10 minutes, by the way, at this match.
I was actually a big fan of Hercules. I don't know why in this match.
I loved Power and Glory as a tag team.
And see,
Hercules on his own.
I honestly see why Hercules never became a huge star besides Power and Glory in 1991. He was mainly a jobber once Paul Roma left. You know, it was just like he was nothing. I just didn't see much in this match, and to be a fan of his work either. Jake the Snake felt like it was just... It was like he was carrying this match the whole 10 minutes.
Completely.
And only one reason I did like this match was the fact that Jake Roberts was losing big time, and it was like the 7th inning of a baseball game, and then he just hit that comeback and hit that DDT for the win. It's the only reason I like this match.
It's a master storyteller, Jake Roberts, the ultimate storyteller. This is just 10 minutes of Jake Roberts jerking off the crowd till he gets the DDT and just teasing them, pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly what it was.
And I give
right.
Hercules, I don't know why. I just... There was nothing for me with him.
Yeah. Or anybody else, don't feel bad.
I gave it a
Rest
D.
in peace, Hercules.
I gave it a D, by the way.
I'm going to give it the same. The only reason it's not getting an F is because of the pop when he hit the DDT.
Yeah.
Main event time, my God, was this hyped up? Or was this hyped up, Logan?
This match was like... Oh, man. It was like you're taking 4 of the biggest superstars back in the day. The biggest man in professional wrestling with Andre. One of the best heels in pro wrestling with the $1 Million Man. And 2 of the overest faces ever.
Technician of our time.
Yes.
Greatest technician of our time in Virgil.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And now he is the best guy that will set up a table on Vince McMahon's star to try to make some money.
But he has his own video game out now. Did you see that?
What is it called?
I don't know. It's a mobile game that somebody made with Virgil, and it's like $2. Apparently, it's like Temple Run.
It's like Temple Run.
But you're Virgil. I'm not kidding. I'm 100% serious. It's like $2. Shitty mobile game.
I don't even think it's worth downloading it for free.
A Virgil autograph isn't even worth $2.
Is he getting any money out of that one? Because that's some cheap heat right there. Probably, because there's just
the Mega Powers. The Mega Powers versus the Mega Cucks. Special guest referee Jesse Ventura. Which way is he going to go? Is he going to sell out? Blah, 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 blah. That was the whole thing. A big 14-minute fucking waste of time of a tag match. First SummerSlam ever. No world title on the line. Just as a kid, I fucking loved this. But watching this as an adult, this match was just... when Randy Savage was in the ring with Ted DiBiase, it was excellent. Anything else?
Wow, I mean the preview for the match beforehand, and everything coming down to it. This was supposed to be that special biggest tag team match in history. You know, you had, like I said, you had 4 of the biggest stars in history. You had Jesse Ventura as special guest referee. What else do you need for a tag team to be the main event? Nothing. But it fell flat.
Yeah.
It fell...
I don't know if it fell flat. Our expectations now totally different from an expectations of a fan in '88.
That's true.
Like, I feel like fans in '88 were just happy to see Hulk and Macho. But see, now it's like, well, what the fuck? No, like, people really thought that Christian and Omega should have closed over Punk, and I disagreed with that, but I know now why they did it with debuting Danielson. But you take Danielson out of that, I would have main evented all out with CM Punk.
Oh, most definitely.
That was the
And most definitely. And I was kind of shocked that CM Punk had a match before the Big Show, for example. You know?
Yeah.
I know it was pretty much, oh, go take your piss before the main event, but yeah. And no offense to Big Show. No offense to him.
Nobody would have went to piss if he came out as Captain Insano in that match.
Oh, wow. That would have been awesome,
That's what
actually.
they should have done right there.
But like I said, I mean, it was, to me, it was previewed as one of those matches that could outdo John Cena and The Rock. But it wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If The Rock and Cena were to be those guys back then, you know, in their spot. You know what I mean? But like the crowd was on their feet.
I already know your favorite fucking part of this whole match. I don't even have to say it. It's pretty obvious what your favorite part would be of this match.
Go ahead and guess it.
Tushy time with Miss Elizabeth.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty cool. Did you see Andre? I mean, Andre was looking like
Oh yeah. Even Jesse Ventura. Everybody was like, God damn, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Apple bottom girl.
I think Jesse Ventura was about to have a heart attack in the ring.
Whoa.
I think Jesse was literally about to say, "Forget politics in the future. I'm not going to do that." Oh, Miss Elizabeth. Even did you even notice that? Like even Hulk Hogan was like, "Oh damn," and then Macho Man was like looking at him like, "Really?"
They built this up. Well, I was about to say they built it up as the secret weapon, man. We got a secret weapon, dude. We're gonna unleash it, man. And it was Elizabeth's tushy. And then you're right. This started the seeds of jealousy for the next year. Many of the mega powers explode.
Mm-hmm.
When Hulk after the match, they got the win. They made Jesse Ventura count to 3 because Jesse did sell out. After the match, Hulk Hogan grabs Elizabeth. You're right, Logan. Big old tushy Elizabeth swinging around. What you doing, man? What's the deal? Freak out, man. What's the deal? Easy, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Planting those seeds.
And I think this.
Roddy Piper came in with the big 8-ball coke. And well, you know, we didn't do all the coke, you know, and it was just a big fuck fest after that.
I can't believe I gave it an A- just because of Miss Elizabeth Stushy.
Kid me would grade this match an A. Travis as a kid would Travis as an actual critic and an adult know what the fuck he's talking about with wrestling. C+. C+.
So you gave it a C+ for the final rating.
Everything. Because I mean, Christ, now in wrestling we've seen Sable's nipples through paint. We've seen it all.
We literally we've seen it all.
We've seen Miss Kitty. We've seen Mae Young's on the Royal Rumble. Huh? That's good eating.
Jerry Lawler loved that, by the way. And my final rating was actually a B-. I gave it a B-.
That might be my favorite Lawler moment of all time.
Yeah.
When he's standing in the ring and she takes off and like that, just that.
That like you, I think. And I'm not trying to be mean or say anything hateful and make people hate me. That could have been the start of his heart attack problems in the in the future.
Oh, will you? To quote Gorilla Monsoon, will you be serious? Will you stop?
No, I mean his facial reactions. It was like he just fell out of love with titties in like 2 seconds.
You know, and what's even hilarious, that wasn't even like Mae Young's real breasts. She was wearing like a suit, like in Something About Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross, though. All of that. Jesus Christ. We have survived. You asked me to come on, and what do I got? And I requested we watch this. Little did you know my return to your channel and making you watch Superstar Billy Graham for 3 hours, but we did it. We're Iron Men for surviving that shit. SummerSlam 88 and MSG is in the books. Logan, what's your final grade on the first SummerSlam of all time?
Well, I did give it I gave it, like I said, I gave it a B-, and that would probably be the final thing I would say. B-.
What's your favorite part of this show?
Ooh, that's That's a good question. Definitely not fucking Gorilla Monsoon having to deal with Billy Graham over there, but and it wasn't Big Boss Man Sweat. Okay, so let me go look. Okay. Huh. I would say Rick Rude and what he did in the ring with his tights.
I mean, I gotta say the IC title match is obviously the most memorable, and you know, that was the part on this tape but I'd always rewind the most when I was a kid. Well, probably because it happened so fucking fast too.
Yeah, it was almost like Santana Marella getting thrown over the ring by Kane in the Royal Rumble. That fast. 1 second.
This is like, for me to go back, and this is like a, Jesus, maybe a 3-moment show. Okay, 3 moments. The Rick Rude IC title match and the main event. Other than that, I'm going solid fucking like B-. No, you know what? Fuck that. C+, because I had to listen to Superstar Billy Graham. This is a C+.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, so I'm gonna go C.
SummerSlam
C.
89, the next year's is actually way better.
Is that where we're gonna head to?
I don't know, Doc Brown. I'm not driving the DeLorean on this channel.
Oh,
You're the one
man.
that takes us to our next destination.
Huh. That's a good question, though.
We could land anywhere with you. We could land in fucking TNA in like 08. We could land in fucking OCW Thunder. We could land anywhere with you behind the wheel.
Well, then, let's just go SummerSlam 89.
That wasn't a very far journey.
I'm just kidding. No, we're actually gonna go SummerSlam 02 with it. Brock and The Rock. Undisputed Championship main event. We will be making that announcement in the later down the road on when that date will be. But we have plenty to talk about in the future, and we will be rewinding to a lot of some of the greatest stuff that we've seen and some of the bad.
Yes. Yeah.
I
And SummerSlam 02 might be the best pay-per-view that company's ever done in the history of WWE. Love that show.
Yes, we are going to go into the history. So,
Well,
but
thanks for having me. Good to be back
thank
here.
you, Travis, for coming on. And poll question for everyone. I'm just gonna throw it out here. Was 2002 the best SummerSlam in history? Yes, no, or other. Explain which one on Twitter will be coming out soon. But thank you again, Travis, for coming on. And again, where can everyone check you out? Like on Twitter? Twitter, sorry. I'm so used to it. I'm so used to saying that. But YouTube and all that
It's
good
going to be
shit.
like getting used to saying Bryan Danielson.
Yes,
So
it's
Bryan.
I'm not used to it.
Because now it's more effort. It's a longer name now, too, to say Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. But we'll get used to it.
YouTube, Hibiki TMD. Instagram, Hibiki TMD. Facebook, Slam Pigs Podcast. And Facebook, The Reset Button. Check out all the podcasts, Let's Plays, Terry Bollea's bullshit, everything in between. And the annual Fall Classic returns this fall. The Hot Gobbler Tournament. The official Hibiki Fire Pro tournament with all the classics, all the pallies, all the legends. And yours truly, and Logan Myers, will be joining me on color commentary. So look for that on the channel soon. Logan, thank you again for having me.
Thank you, Travis, for coming on. And ladies and gentlemen, check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. And check out FOW coming soon. High Voltage and episode of FOW 27. So check out that. And also check out Rewind. We have more episodes coming. We have even the part 2, Travis, that Travis don't even know, but the rise and fall of WCW and TNA part 2. We will be rewinding that one day. And it was one of the most viewed videos that this channel's had, with 1.1k views. And we're going to go back and see if we can outdo that, Travis.
Was I on that show?
No, actually.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
No. And that's the crazy part. I think James was on it.
There you go.
Congratulations.
That's a good amount.
Don't ever put James on something other than ECW. Please. But thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next time on The Rewind. Travis and Logan, out.
Danger. High voltage.
Nobody can take it better than us. Nobody can ever do it. It's tough. If you wanna listen to the best, nothing else got. Yes. Recognize the time that we on. This is the time we respond. If you listen to the future of the wrestling podcast, understand that we on. Every debate, every commentary, just to make the status rapping loud and clear. I don't think you really talking. You aware that nobody feel you'll ever be there. And if you talking with us, you will see it real quick. Nobody in this game can elite with the business like us. The future of wrestling, know that we on. This is our time to respond. Let's go. Future of Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.